Hey guys, so in this video we will be solving this problem number of islands 2. Okay, so let's first understand the problem. So the problem says that we will be given a row and column, means number of rows and number of columns. It represents a 2D matrix. We will be given k queries in the problem, and in each query we will be given a row and a column index. That a row or a column will be given to us. Initially in this matrix, every index is filled with 0. So whatever row and column value is given to us, we have to flip that 0 into 1. So, and 1 represents an island. 1 represents an island. We have to tell the count of islands at each after each query. Like, okay, so suppose if initially 0 comma 2 is given as input, so what we will do, we will flip this 0 comma 2 into 1. So what is the count of islands till now? Count of islands till now is 1. Okay, now suppose 3 comma 1 comma 3 is given to us. So what we will do, we will convert this 0 into 1. So what is the count of islands now? Count of islands now is 2. So 2 will be stored now in this array. Okay, now suppose if 0 comma 3 is given as input, so we will convert this into array. Now how many islands are there? So now there are not 3 islands. This is a single island since it is connected. Okay, now again 1 will be stored in this. Okay, so this is what the problem is. So I hope the problem would have been clear. Now let's see how we are going to approach this problem. So what we can do is that there will be k queries. So and after each query, means a row and a column will be given to us. So what we will do, we will flip the 0 at row comma column index, and after that what we can do, we can apply a DFS and we can find the number of islands in this grid. Okay, so that will be what, k into the complexity of DFS. In this we will be achieving this, and this is not very good. Like, we can optimize this. So we will be not be doing this. We will be doing it with some other way. Via which what we will be doing is we will be using disjoint set union for solving this problem. We will applying this technique for solving this problem. What we will be doing is that first, for applying disjoint set union, like this is a 2D grid. So how will we apply this is that we will convert this 2D into 1D. How we can do this? We know that if we have a row comma column, we can convert it into 1D using this formula. One, that is whatever is the, if I want to convert r comma c, r into whatever is the columns, number of columns, like number of columns over here is 5 plus c. We can use this formula. Okay, so if I want to solve this problem using disjoint set union, so let's make some parent array. So we will be using 1 2 3 4 5 around 20. Okay, so let me make a parent array quickly. So then after that I will be explaining the algo, like what we are going to do. So let's make 1 2 3 okay, let me index it as well. 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22. Okay, initially, all, since it is a parent array, so initially it will be filled with -1. That, okay, I'm intentionally filling it. It will help us. Okay, so now let's continue with the algo. Now what we are going to do is that we will one by one process the queries. Let's suppose first query is what? First query is 0 comma 3. 0 comma 3. We will first convert it into what? 1D. So what we will get if you convert it into 1D? We are going to check 3. We will go to parent array and we will check at index 3. If index 3 is -1, then it indicates that this cell is 0. 0 means we are going to convert it into an island. And if it -1 is not present at index 3, then it means that it was already converted into 1 in the past. Okay, so that means that it is already converted into 1. So this will not increase our, means, island count. So we'll also maintain a variable count equals to 0. So we got 0 comma 3, we converted into 1D, we got 3, we are checking at index 3, it is -1. -1 means what? It is not converted into 1 yet. So we'll increase our count by 1. So we'll add 1 to our answer. Okay, so currently in our array we will store 1. Okay, now let's check the next element. So Suppose 1 comma 4 is the next element. Okay, so if 1 comma 4 is the next index, so we'll convert it into 1d to 1d. So what we will get, 1 into 5 plus 3, 8, eighth index. So we'll go and check eighth index. It is -1. Yeah, we have to change the parent array also. So we change it into 3. Okay, for 1 comma 4 we check at index 8, it is -1. -1 means what? It is not converted into 1 yet. So we'll increase our count by 1 and change the parent to 8. Now it is stored over here. Okay, now suppose next element is what? Next element is 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3, if we convert it into 1d, I will get 7. I will check at index 7, it is -1. I will increase my counter by 1. Since -1 indicates it is not converted into 1 yet, so I will convert it into increase 1 to my counter. Since I am going to convert 0 into 1, that means I am going to increase 1 island, so 1. But as now my count says 3, but but actually what, it is a single island. So instead of 3, it will be 2. Instead of 3, I should what? I should store 1. But how I'm going to know that my islands have decreased to 1? So what I will do is that each time when I convert a 0 to 1, what I will do, I will check in the 4 adjacent directions. Okay, I will check in the 4 adjacent directions. So when I check this left one, what is its 1D? When I convert it into 1D, I will get something as what? 4, 5, 6, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will go and check 7th index. 7th index is -1. -1 represents 0. It is a 0. So no problem from this cell. I will go to this cell. I will check its parent array 3. At index 3, it is not -1. It is not -1 means what? Means it is a 1. So we are a part of the same island. So what I will do, I will decrement to 1. Okay, now I will similarly I will check this particular side, 1 comma 4. When I check 1 comma 4, that is ninth index, I am seeing it is also 1 comma 4. So 1 comma 4 will be 5 plus 4, ninth index. So I have not updated the value over here. So here it will be 9. Since I have changed 0 to 1, so here also I will change. So it was a mistake, sorry for that. So yeah, when I will check ninth index, I am seeing that here also -1 is not stored. -1 not stored means what? Here also it is a 0. So we are a part of the what? Same family. So I need to decrement 1 from my answer. So finally, what I will get? 1 plus 1 plus 2, 3, 3 minus 2, 1. So I am getting 1 and my island count is also what? 1. So this is what we are going to use to means to find the number of islands at any moment. Okay. So now let's suppose take few more example. Let's do few more iterations. We got what? We are getting like what? Suppose 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 we are getting. Our count is what? 1. So 2 comma 2 means what? We will 2 into 5, 10, 10 plus 12. We'll go to 12 index. 12 index is what? -1. That means we are it is 0. So we are going to convert it into 1. So I will add 1 to my answer. And I will convert 2 comma 2 to 1. Okay. Now I will check my 4 directions again. That are you 1? No, it is not. It is not. It is not. It is not. So answer will be 2 only. 2 will be stored in the array. Okay. Now let's suppose the next element is what? 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 means 2 comma 2 is 10, 12. Index 12. I need to. Okay. Now let's suppose the next element is 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3. So when I will convert it into 1D, I will get 13th. 13th index is -1. That means what? It is not 1 yet. So I will add 1 to my answer. I will change the parent array to 30. I will convert it into 1. Okay. Now what I am seeing is that my count is saying 3, but actually there is only one island. So I need to perform that 4 directional check also. So let's check that. I will check to my left. I will check in this array. Okay, so it is not -1. That means it is a 1. So I need to decrement 1 from my answer. Okay. I will check to my right. It is 0. No problem. I will check to my bottom. It is 0. No problem. I will check to my top. What I'm seeing, it is 1. In the parent array also, it is what? -1 is not stored. That means what? It is 1. So I need to decrement 1 from my answer. Now my answer will be what? 1. So I will store 1 in my array. So this is what how we are going to proceed. So I have shown with parent array, but this we'll use find algorithm also. Means we'll be using find also, and I will be using it in the code. So that part I have not shown over here, that we will be using directly in the code. So I guess the algorithm, like what we are going to actually do and how we are going to reduce the time complexity by following this approach is clear. So now let's move on to the coding part. Okay. So let's now code this problem. So as discussed, we will be using DSU approach. So For DSU we need parent array, rank array. So let's make that first. Let's make an array parent. Let's rename them as rows and columns as variables we used in our dry run. So integer parent equal to new integer of rows into columns, and we will initialize this array with -1. So arrays dot fill parent comma -1. Okay, let's make one more array, rank equals to new integer of rows into columns. Okay, now what we were doing, we were one by one removing the elements, means taking the query positions. So I equal to 0, I less than positions of length plus I, integer row will be what, positions of I comma 0, integer column will be what, positions of I comma 1. It is positions. Okay, so what we were doing, we were one by one removing element. First we were converting it into 1D. So let's convert that to integer. Cell 1D will be what, row into columns plus of C, and if parent of cell 1D is not equals to -1, then what we will do, we need a list also. So let's make a list of integer answer equal to new array list. Okay, let's make a variable count also, which tells us the number of islands. Initialize it with 1. So if this is the case, then what we will do, we will add answer dot add count and we'll simply continue it. So what we did is that, like suppose in this case what was happening, each time we were converting a 0 to 1. Let's suppose 1,3 is already a 1. If again 1,3 is given to us to make it a 1, what we will do, we will check in the position. 1,3 will what, 4 5 6 7 8, 8th index is not -1. That means what, this cell is already 1. So if we are again going to make it 1, so there will be no change in my number of islands. My islands will neither increase nor decrease. Okay, so if a cell is already 1, then, and if we are again changing it to 1, so there will be no change in the number of islands. So that's why we have simply added the count and continue. Okay, otherwise what we will do, we will increase our count since we are converting a 0 to 1, so our islands will increase. Okay, then what we will do, rank of cell 1D equals to 1 and parent of cell 1D will be what, cell 1D. Okay, that is what we were doing. We were changing the parent to the same cell value each time, and we are making the rank to 1. Then what we were doing, after making 1, we were checking in all the 4 directions, that if there is already a 1 or something like that, it may decrease the island count also. So for that we were moving in 4 directions. So let's do that part. I equal to 0 plus 4 less than I. But for moving in 4 directions, we need a direction array. Okay, so let's make 2 directions array, integer array direction array in X and integer array direction array in Y. Okay, and if we are at any point, what are the 4 directions? These 4 directions, and these are what, -1 0, this is what 0 plus 1, this is what +1 0, this is what 0 -1. Okay, so these are the 4 directions. So let's add them. So dx is what, the -1 0 1 0, and dy is what, 0 1 0 and -1. So we'll move in these 4 directions, and here it will be, we have already used I variable, so let's use another variable, plus index. So integer new row will be what, our new row will be our current row plus direction array of X. New column will be what, our current column plus of direction array of Y. Our new cell 1D will be what, new row into columns plus of new column. Okay, now if we are over here, let's suppose, so we will move in 4 directions. We have to make sure that we are not out of the board also. So we have to ensure that part also. So we will check if new row is less than 0, or new column is less than 0, or new row is greater than or equal to rows, or new column is greater than or equal to columns, and one more condition. If we are making, means if we are at this 0, so we are checking in the 4 directions. When we are checking this cell, if it is 0, that means its parent array contains -1, then there is no problem with this array. This is not going to decrease my island count. This is 1, this can decrease my island count. So this has, we have problem with only those cells which have 1 value or whose parent value is not equals to -1. So we will check if parent value of new cell 1D, if it is equals to -1 also, then also we can simply skip this node. Otherwise we have problem with this. So what we will do, we will find the leaders of the cells. So find cell 1D comma parent integer leader of y equal to find new cell 1D comma parent. Okay, and if leader of x is not equals to leader of y, then one thing is for sure, that first thing is that count will be decreased. Like suppose over here, let's take one more case. Let's suppose this was a configuration. Okay, initially first we changed this 0 to 1, this 0 to 1, this 0 to 1, this 0 to 1. Okay, now these four are what? These four are a part of a single island. These four are a part of a single island. Okay, now if I change this 0 to 1, then this one will what? Make 4 direction calls to all the 4 directions. What is the current count of islands is what? 1. Now I have changed this 0 to 1, so +1 will be added for this. Now this will make 4 direction calls. These are the four direction calls. One call over here and one call over here. It sees that this is 1, so it will decrement 1. It sees that this is also 1, it will decrement 1, and it will show answer as 0, but our answer is 1. Here there is 1 island. So this is where we have to check. We will check that wherever we are calling, if the parent of this whole island is it same, like we in the find algorithm, we will check if the parent is same for both the calls, that is for the left call and the right call, then we will not decrement the value of 1 each time. We will decrement the value only when the parents are different. Like suppose if this was not 1, if suppose this was 0 only and there are more cells, and here it is 1, then we would have decremented for this one also, because both of these islands are separated, they have different parents. Okay, what we will do is that if leader of x is not equal to leader of y, then only will decrement the count, and we will check if rank of leader of x is not equal to rank of leader of y, not equal to not is greater than rank of leader of y, then what we will do, parent of leader of y will be what? Leader of x. Okay, else if rank of leader of y is greater than rank of leader of x, then what we will do, parent of leader of y will be leader of parent of leader of x will be leader of y. Else if both are same, then we can make anyone as parent. So make rank of leader of x equals to leader of y, and not rank, parent, and rank of leader of y will be incremented by 1. Okay, and finally after when this loop is over on all the 4 directions, then what we will do, we will answer dot add our count, and after all this we have to return the answer also. We need to write the find function also. So let's write the find function also. So public static integer find integer x and integer array parent. So we will check if x is equal to parent of x, and what we will do, we will simply return x. Otherwise what we will do, we will return parent of x equals to find parent of x comma parent. Okay, we are done with the find function also. Now let's check whether everything is correct or not. So we have made parent array, rank array filled with 1. Okay, answer, we have made counter, we have made directions array. One by one we are removing the elements, converting it into 1D, and if it is not -1, then simply adding the answer. Otherwise, okay, then we are moving in all the 4 directions. We're decreasing the count, finally adding it into the answer. So I guess we are more or less done with the code. Let's try to run this code and see if it is working fine or not. Let's check that. So 1 2 3 4, it is giving us the answer should be 1 1 2 3. So looks like there is some logical error. We'll have to figure it out. 1 1 2 3 is the answer. So we are not decrementing the count, looks like. Right, for index 0, index less than 4, new cell 1D. Okay, parent of new cell 1D equals to -1, then simply skip it. Cell 1D comma parent new cell 1D. If leader of x is not equal to leader of y, then we are decrementing the count. Yeah, we are decrementing the count. Let me check where is the index. So it will be over here, it will be index, not I, since we have used index variable. Okay, that was issue. It is giving the right answer. Let's try to submit it. Let's check. So it is passing. So I hope you guys would have understood the solution.